Today, I wanted to talk to you about a book. It's nonfiction. It's called Is Marriage for White People by Ralph Richard Banks. I read this book on my Kindle, and you'll see the cover right above. And the book was published in 2011. Use that as so that I'm just saying some of this stuff might be somewhat dated, as I've already mentioned. But some of these statistics that are covered, it's the fact that some Black men, they're not used to being exposed to marriage because they were raised in a family where the mother has children, but there is no dad physically present. I know that happens in other races, as I've just mentioned, but it happens more within the Black family. So since they weren't really exposed to this type of family dynamic, the Black men might automatically say, well, I want to be a good father, but I don't want to be married, because that's not something that they're used to. And Black women want to be married, but they're not finding African American men who want to marry them. Now, African American women, we are we're very driven. We have great jobs, maybe making six figures or more, educated, and many Black women are having a hard time finding African American men who fit their demographic, like finding someone who has a master's or PhD or bachelor's, for which they can someone they feel is their equal. They have a hard time finding that. So a lot of times they'll marry down. Like you might have someone who's a PhD, who has their PhD. They might marry somebody who has a job that doesn't necessarily need a degree, like maybe a car salesman or even a janitor. And that's what Black women had started doing, because they weren't finding Black men, or there's not enough Black men that have excelled to their level. The Black men that have excelled to their level, there's just not enough to go around, so they marry down, if they marry at all. And some want to marry someone of their level, but they, like I said, they can't find them. And Black women are very faithful to Black men. That faithfulness is not always reciprocated within the Black men. For whatever reason, it's just not reciprocated all the time. You do find Black men who want to marry a Black woman. Do not put words into my mouth. But you'll also find Black men, they're just not as faithful to Black women. They were more apt to date outside of the race, more so than a Black woman, because a Black woman just wants a Black man. So there's a lot of factors that they talk about. They talk about Black men, a lot of Black men being incarcerated. And another thing that I found, I don't believe this was mentioned in the book, but I've seen this because I've done, my little searches about this, and you're welcome to search this on your own. Like, even for dating apps, when you get those dating apps and you want to, try and be matched with somebody, a lot of times on these dating apps, African American women are the ones that get the least attention on these dating apps. They're the least desired. It was African American women and Asian men. Now, I don't know why the Asian men are not picked, but African American women, they tend to have a bad reputation. And sometimes, most of the time, it's just us standing up for ourselves. I'll say the angry Black woman. That's a stereotype. Because if we feel like something is unjust, we're going to stand up for ourselves. If a white woman were to do the same thing, it's not considered as being an angry white woman. It's just because white people, I don't think, are used to being treated that way as much as Black people. So we have to stand up for ourselves. And I think it's misunderstood, and I think it's a myth. So, but we just have a bad reputation as a race, Black women. Just in general, and that's why on the dating apps, I feel that we're the least desired, the least chosen. But the book was really it really makes you think. And again, it is dated. I said earlier in this video as to when it was published. So the statistics might not necessarily still be accurate, but take that with a grain of salt. You should still read the book, and then you can look at more updated books. And if you have a book about this subject matter that you've read and you've really enjoyed, or you think is really accurate, something more modern, please leave me a comment, because this subject matter really resonates with me, and I really would like to know, if there are other books out there that are similar to this that are recommended. So I highly recommend the book if you want to know more about why a lot of African American women are single. Those few things that I just mentioned are just the tip of the iceberg. And there was something else I wanted to mention. The solution to this is basically to marry or date outside of our race. So African American women are encouraged, if you want somebody who is as accomplished as you are, you might want to consider marrying outside of your race and dating outside of your race. So that's something more African American women are doing. Now, like when I was growing up, that's not something I saw very often. Even when I was in college, I was raised in an all-white area. So since there's no black people, it's not something that I was exposed to, interracial dating. College, I saw it a little bit, but not much, because like I said, black women are very faithful. I didn't see it. I see it in the younger people nowadays. I notice it's not a big deal for interracial dating is not a big deal for young people nowadays. But like when I was growing up, I saw it, but it wasn't as widespread as it is now. So any insight you can provide on this subject matter, or any books that you've read about this subject matter that you think are, that you can recommend, please do leave me a comment. And if you like reading about dating, my books are fiction, but they deal with relationships. Shades of Chocolate is part of the Bakery Romance series. The Bakery Romance series, you can buy the whole series at a reduced price. And it's 8 books, and all of them have 5-star reviews and ratings, and you'll enjoy them. Shades of Chocolate has over 400 ratings and reviews on Amazon. So you can buy the whole series from me. Again, it's 8 books. You can buy them directly from me. The books come gift wrapped, and they have stickers and swag. And, if you're not sure if you want to read this, give it a try. You could always go to Amazon and just read a sample. But if you want the paperback, it's best to buy it from me, because my price is a lot cheaper than what Amazon is, selling them for. And you can buy the whole set, and you will love them. And maybe buy a few sets for your friends and family members as gifts, birthday gifts, or what have you. Thanks for listening to this video in its entirety. I hope you have a great day.